Hello everybody, my name is Tanya and welcome to my channel. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how I make ACO cards that I started selling on eBay. And what ACO cards are, if you don't know already, there's been some buzz about them lately. They are, ACO stands for Art Cards, Editions, and Originals. And what they are miniature pieces of art, and they measure 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches, which is the size of a standard trading card. And they can be created in any medium, any style, and right now they're pretty popular on eBay. And people like to collect and trade them and, you know, use them as little pieces of art for their collections. And I think the reason that people really enjoy these is because art can be expensive, as you know, original art. And, these are a way for people to collect art and have original art, and it's not too pricey. And as a person who creates art, I think it's a great way for you to explore your art, try different mediums, try different styles. And it's done on a small little piece of paper, 2.5 by 3.5. So it's not hard to complete, and there's not too much pressure on it. I've been doing this for about 2 months now, and I've really been enjoying it a lot. And it's just a way to, you could do it every day. If, it's kind of a good way to keep your art going. 2.5 by 3.5, it doesn't take long to usually paint something. And I just think it's a fun thing to do, and you never know, somebody might really love your art out there and they might buy it. So I did hear, or I read, that they were pretty popular in the 90s, which I didn't know about that back then. But they are making a comeback now. So what I did here is I cut some watercolor papers. You can see in the 2.5 by 3.5 inches, and I decided to do 3. And I'm using my a watercolor palette. I think it's by Woomer, and I'll put everything that I use in the description box. And I thought I'd try some flowers. The flowers that I usually do, they're not this style, but I really do enjoy doing this style. And I thought, well, it's a great way for me to practice this, and maybe I'll be able to sell some on eBay. Why not, right? And I thought, oh, I can make a video too. So what I did is I started with spray there. So I sprayed a section of my little piece of paper and I dropped in colors. And I was visioning in my mind that I wanted to do some kind of hanging, beautiful, viney flowers, like bougainvilleas or wisteria or something like that. And I originally wanted to do, I was thinking about like doors, doing like 3 different doors with beautiful flowers hanging over the doors. Well, that didn't really come out how I didn't do that, as you can see, I should say. I just decided just to stick with the flowers. The thing about painting small like this, and I tend to be detailed with my paintings normally. Um, I want to cram all this in one little square, rectangle. So when I started painting the flowers, I realized I just didn't leave enough room for the door and stuff. So I thought, okay, I'll just stick um, with the flowers. And after I painted, dropped the paint on there, I did add some salt to all 3 of these. And I experimented with my colors with all 3 of these. Now I let it dry, and now I'm coming back with some doing wet on dry and just using the same color paint that I did for each 3 of these, and just kind of taking this cute little, I love this brush. It's got a nice little point to it. It's a calligraphy brush, and just kind of putting in some more of the flowers. Now, With this first one, I think this first one's my favorite. I used, it's a quinacridone violet, and I used it's a mixture of verdant and a grass green, it's called. And I like the way that turned out. And the middle one, though, that was my problem child out of all three of these. As you will see, I created mud. But you know, the thing about these little ACO cards, or the size of a painting like this, is it's good for experimentation. I mean, if it does turn out kind of you don't like it or not good, you know, you learn from it. You learn a lesson from everything you do. So I learned my lesson with that middle one. I just did not mix the colors right. And you will see, I decided I was just going to keep it in the video and show, you know, what really happens when you paint. It doesn't always turn out the way you want to. So what I did here with this first one, I did the same with all three. So I'm kind of just showing you the first one, and I didn't speed up very much. Now the next second and third I do speed up because it's kind of the same process that I used for the first one. Is I after it was dry, I came back with, you know, the color of, like, this is a it's called a mandarin red that I used, and then a lemon yellow. So I came back and, you know, put my little blooms on there, and then I sprayed it with my sprayer just to kind of to give some more movement, and then came back with some more paint. And as you can see, this one, it just, I like the first layer was fine, but then when I started adding more colors, the green mixed with the orange, and it just created this muddy, ugly look. So what I thought I'd try to do to try and maybe save it is I took those colors and I made a darker color and put in a trunk, like it could be some kind of tree, like a fall tree. It kind of looked like a fall tree. I thought, okay, maybe I can save it. Um, Now with the third one, I'm using, it's called Lake Blue and Lotus. And I think those colors worked really beautiful together with it's called a grass green. So I'm kind of doing the same thing, just adding more of those colors on there, wet on dry, and then I will come in and spray and kind of to get those colors moving. Now I did add a um, a trunk, or if you want to say a stem, for each one of these flowers. And what I did is, instead of using like a black or a brown, is I just mixed the colors that I used for that little painting, to mix them all together to create a dark color that I could use for the stem or the trunk, instead of using a black. So with this one, I mixed a purple and the green together, which created that color there, which kind of makes it's cohesive with the painting, so it, you know, it works. And that's a good thing to do if you're painting something like a tree, and instead of using a separate color like black or brown, just can use the mixture of the colors maybe that you use in that paint or in the tree to create your darker value, your dark brown or black or such. So then I decided I wanted to add some highlights, and I took some bleed-proof white and I mixed in the color of the blooms with the bleed-proof white. And so here I had the bleed-proof white, and I mixed in some of the, I think that's a quinacridone violet. And I don't know if I really liked it that much. I mean, it looked okay, but I had something envisioned differently in my mind, a little bit brighter, and I didn't feel like using a gel pen like lots of times I do. I use gel pens a lot. So what I did is I just kind of used some white straight out of the jar to add highlights. As you can see, I did that to all three. The middle one, my problem child, the poor little ugly duckling. I just did not like the way it was going. So I decided to add something to it. So I thought, well, I'll start with, maybe I'll add something that looks like an owl because I like to do owls. So I started with that. And then I didn't like the way that looked. So then I added a tail. I thought, well, maybe it can be a squirrel. Then I thought, oh, maybe it could be a cat. So it ended up being a cat. But yeah, I don't think I'll be putting that middle one on eBay for sale. That could be like a freebie I'll throw in there to somebody who purchases one of these if they sell on eBay. So now I'm coming in with, because I like to do my little details, I'm coming in with a gel pen. I'm just adding some swirlies to the trunks of these trees, vines, flower vines. So that is it. I completed 3 of these little ACO cards. The middle one's going to be a freebie, but I will be putting these in my eBay shop, and I have the link in the description if you're interested. And I encourage anybody out there to try it. They're fun to do. You can keep them for yourself. I mean, you don't have to sell them, of course, but if you do, give it a shot. You never know. There's a lot of people out there looking for all different styles of art, and it's very, very creative, and it's a good way to practice different techniques, like I said, and all that. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye.